Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the match preview. Everton versus Sheffield United. Premier League. Goodison Park, 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. Does it get any better than that?
In other seasons, yes.
And it will if we win.
Yes.
Joined by Andy. Are you over Sunday yet?
Yeah, I'm over the actual game. I'm more thinking long term about what's going on, like with the formation stuff. But yeah, I'm over the actual game now. You know, what can we do? You have to go move on. Hopefully we change.
You.
Yeah, changes that need to be afoot. But yeah, I'm over it now.
I mean, the real frustration. I know it's the season's about 2 minutes old and all that, but the real frustration, is when you look at what could have been if we'd have won. If we'd have won, we'd have been third or fourth in the league. You know, it doesn't really matter.
It's momentum, though, isn't it?
But it's momentum, and it's getting that thing, you know, the first away win and all that. And just the manner in which we lost the game, the goals more than anything. I mean, Everton are joint top in the most clean sheets so far this season. For us to give 3 goals up as badly as we did on Sunday.
It's really poor errors as well, isn't it? You know. It's concentration and awareness, and I think that it happened a lot of times last season, that bad period as well. You know, they were giving soft fouls away, they were switching off when balls came into the box, and that's what was costing us games. And moments in football can cost you games, especially at the highest level. So it's something that the players need to cut out. And obviously, the manager can. I suppose you can't blame the managers for individual errors. But he's going to get the blame in the end because that's the nature of football, I guess.
Yeah.
And he has done in this case.
I suppose so. I mean, Saturday represents a good opportunity to get back to winning ways. Very strong at home, Everton. Normally score quite a few goals as well. Been doing well of late, won X amount of games on the run and blah de blah. But you know, there's no givens in the Premier League.
No.
And not where we're concerned anyway. And Sheffield United, to their credit, we'll look a bit more at them in a bit, but they've done all right since they've been, you know, they've come up. They're not, I don't think they're a typical championship side. They try to play football.
Yeah, they do,
you know,
yeah.
Chris Wilder's got them playing some decent football, and they've had some decent results. But from our perspective, first and foremost, these are the games we've got to win, aren't they? Especially after the weekend.
Well, yeah, because they're a promoted side, and I know it's one thing, you know, you should beat a Bournemouth, really. Everton, on paper, have got a better side, better squad than Bournemouth. But when you get to, like, the promoted teams, that should be your bread and butter for a team who's got top 6 ambitions. You've got to beat them teams. You've got to get 6 points off them every season. There's 18 points off the 3 promoted sides, and we got beat by Villa. I know they're not, I suppose, atypical promoted team, but even so, we still give that. We can't afford again to do it in this weekend, so we do need to get 3 points. Yeah, I think, you know, we'll obviously get more into Sheffield United, but I think they'll play into our hands slightly, and I think this game will be will be a bit easier for us in a lot of ways.
I mean, I think for Everton, for me really, it's about tempo. You know, I think Sunday was too laboured. It was too ponderous at times. Obviously, Andre Gomez was missing. We do, you know, whether people criticise Andre or not at times, you know, we know he's a fantastic footballer. I think his performance at Villa is worse than an Everton shirt, I think. But we miss him when he isn't there. Because
away from home, if you want to, and obviously at the moment, Everton have been given a lot of the ball and controlling games, and he is Everton's most important player to try and control the game, because he is your metronome, he ticks it over, he controls the pattern of play. And without him, it falls on Fabian Delph, who can do it, but I think Fabian Delph's better being the second player to that, really. And I think the problem with that game is we didn't. The midfield again let us down. And at times, even with Gay and Gomez last season, it was a soft area. So it's something that needs to get better. And without Gomez, we can't take control of games by the scruff of the neck. We can't control the tempo, pick up the pace. He's the man to do that. And without him, and I think he sort of, when was it, Wednesday, Thursday, he got injured. So it's sort of a late change in the game plan. So that probably did affect Silva's plans. But yeah, if we without Gomez, we need to play a bit more on the front foot and less trying to control the game in a sense.
Yeah, I think they thought he was going to be all right for the game, and he wasn't, apparently. So fingers crossed he's made a full recovery for this week. How much are we missing Ghana, in your opinion?
I checked the other day, to be honest with you, because I know a lot of people say we are, and I'm on the fence whether we are or not, but in terms of intercepting the ball, which I know it's only one facet of the game, we are out 6 down a game, and that is roughly how many he gets 3 or 4 a game, doesn't he? So, and that is important to turn over his possession and recycling it. I think the problem though is, and I think what it give players an out a lot of the time, and I think players need to do you need a whole team to do a job, not just Garner to get you out of get you out of trouble. And I think that was the problem last season. Certain players got out of jail because Garner was there to do it, and I think if you're going to win things and you're going to be a good side that gets the top, you can't just have that one player doing that for you. You need to side, and don't be wrong, he is fantastic at what he does. In certain games, obviously, his passing wasn't good enough, but yeah, I think in certain games we will miss him, in others we won't. But I think so far you could say in certain games his ability to win the ball back and recycle possession is what we're missing in some games, yeah.
I think for me, just finally, from Sunday, the makeup of the midfield wasn't good enough. I think, Morgan Schneiderlin, his numbers were all right on Sunday, but it's what he does. It's win the ball, pass it 3 yards. I think we need more mobility, and that's why this weekend I would have Gomez and Delph would be my 2 in midfield. I think he will
bring him back in, yeah.
I think otherwise, if Andre Gomez is injured, I'd play Tom Davies without a shadow with Delph.
Yeah, he played there for England under 21s. I know Marco Silva said literally straight away that he wasn't a defensive midfielder.
Put Delph there.
Have Delph deeper, just stagger
Delph
him,
can do it, and Delph can still play his diagonals.
Or play them 4-1, 4-1, with Gylfi next to Davis, but Gylfi deeper, open up some more space. We'll get into the do something different thing, but yeah, do something different, just try something.
That's coming on to me next point early, is that the managers had a little bit of criticism. It always seems to happen whenever we lose a game. I think, we've done on the live yesterday that me and Ped had done, we touched on Marco, Charlie Nicholas saying Marco Silva's only ever 2 games away from a crisis and stuff like that. And I think the media don't like him. I think they
don't like Everton as well, but yeah.
Yeah, but I think because of
because Sam's friends with everyone, and the English managers, and they're all mates, and they all want the friends in football so they can get that information. It's an all boys club football. It really is.
So he gets a little bit of a rough ride at times for that, but I think from some Evertonians as well, a little bit fed up with another away performance going the way it did. We've played 3 away games this season. They should have been, for me, the minimum we should have taken from those 3 games was 7 points, and we haven't took 1. We scored 1 goal. So the manager, for me, has to do something a little bit different. This formation we're playing is stale. I think we both agree with that.
Style of play is stale as well.
We need to change something up. So for the weekend, I mean, what would you be looking at?
I'd change it up, but I just don't think he will, because I think the issue with the Sheffield United game is they're going to play 3-5-2 or 5-3-2, whichever way you want to look at it. And like Wolves, it plays into our hands because we'll be able to get Gylfi wide into space, overload the full-backs when Stevens or Baldock get forward, and get the ball in the box, and that helps us because we are a crossing side. I think. And in a way, that papers over a little bit of the cracks in a sense, because I'm not saying we'll definitely win, but I expect us to. But it papers over the cracks in the fact that it's 4-man defences that we have the trouble with. And I think 4-3-3, getting Richarlison, maybe Iwobi or Bernard, whoever it may be, closer to the goal, closer to Keane or Dominic Calvert-Lewin, whoever's playing, is essential, because really, you look at the way Liverpool or City use Sterling, they're always in the box. I don't want Richarlison on the byline with the ball trying to cross it. I just don't. I want him in the box, no matter if it's on his side or not. So it's imperative that we get our goal scorer closer to the goal. So I think 4-3-3 for me, with a hard work in midfield, you can create, you can progress the ball via running or passing, it is imperative. And the problem is, I don't think without Gabam, I think Silva's lost confidence in the idea of having a 6. Most likely because Morgan Schneiderlin, although he is a 6, he's got no mobility, can't get across the cover positions like Gabam can. He won't attack the space. So I would play 4-3-3. And the thing that worries me most, I think, and the thing that I did say on Twitter yesterday, I had some conversations with people, is I work with a company that provides opposition analysis, recruitment analysis for a championship club, and I see that the level of data and analysis that these managers have got their hands off, and every week we seem to play the same, and I don't quite understand that. Like Everton have got some really great data people, really good opposition analysis, video analysis. You get a plethora of data every week, and we seem to play exactly the same way, no matter who the opponent is. And some people will say, well, Liverpool doing. But they have changed. You'll see Liverpool sometimes play 4-2-3-1 with Shaqiri as number 10. You sometimes see City do the same with Gundogan next to Fernandinho. We never seem to change by the odd back 3. And it's starting to worry me, the fact that Silva's either... And Gylfi Sigurdsson's not a problem. He's an odd fit at times. I don't think he's a problem, but before Gylfi Sigurdsson was under Marco Silva, since he became Everton manager, he never played for number 10, really.
No.
He played a combination of 4-4-2 at Watford. He played 3 at the back. He played... 4-3-3. So he played different formations.
4-3-3 at Hull, didn't
he? He played different formations in each game, and it's not. And we don't seem to do it. It worries me. Is why is he being so strict with this and the style of play as well? We see it sometimes. It goes down the middle, but everything's funneled out to the right. And if I'm someone analysing for Sheffield United or another side, then I'm saying to myself, well, we're just going to have to just funnel them down the side and get them to cross to our big centre-backs. That's what Villa did, and it worked for them. So that's my worry. But I think this game, we'll have some joy because of the way they open up the space in the wide areas by having the full-backs on, because they do play football.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. We need to freshen it up. Richarlison does his best work in the penalty area. Yeah. He's not a winger. He's a wide striker.
He is, yeah.
I think. I know what you're saying about Gylfi, and it is an issue. The goals are probably the thing that keeps him in the team.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. His creativity, yeah.
If you actually look at the way we want to play, it actually suits Iwobi more than Gylfi. Yeah. The way we play, someone who can travel with the ball quickly from the centre areas and run past strikers. Yeah. Gylfi doesn't. He wants to drop into spaces and go from there. I think we do miss Bernard when he's not in the team.
We do, because of his combination play.
Because of the combination play with Luca Dean. But Iwobi deserves to play because he's playing well as well. So it's all of those little things, but something needs to change, and just to mix it up, to give that element of surprise. Just finally, before we look at Sheffield United, who do you go with as the striker? Obviously, Dominic Calvert-Lewin scored.
It's Keane at home, it has to be.
It's got to be, hasn't it?
There's two ways of looking as well. From like an analytic perspective, I have Keane, because if you are going to play the 4-2-3-1, which I still think is likely to happen, you want to get the best out of Gylfi Sigurdsson if you play in that system, because essentially you're playing a 10 because you've got Gylfi Sigurdsson. Get a striker who's going to stretch the defence back and give him space, and someone who's going to run beyond the defence. That's how you get the best out of him, and find players who are going to get him space in the wide areas. And I think that's what we need to do. Get Richarlison in the box. So yeah, I would expect Keane to stretch the defence at home, and I think that's what Silva might do. And I understood why he played Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I know everyone was upset about it, but he did have we did try. We didn't really cross enough quality crossing, but we tried to take advantage of the height advantage against Bournemouth's defence. But yeah, I think it'll be Keane. I think defence, central midfield, I've got a horrible feeling Schneiderlin will play again. I don't know why. I wouldn't against. I don't really. Apart from Norwood, you can. But I'm talking more. You need to press Norwood more than you need to have someone marking him. It's more of a try and get closing down, stop him playing the ball. So, yeah, I hope they play Tom Davis, but I hope Gomez is back. I hope Gomez. I think it'll be Gomez and Delph if they come back. I think the rest of the team will be pretty much the same. I'd personally try Iwobi as a 10 and try and get Bernard on the left and see what they can do.
Mix it up again.
You basically adding a lot of movement there, dribbling ability on the ball. You're adding someone who can go, get in the box as well, and Iwobi, as we've seen in the first 2 games, and he can be creative. I think he's trying to find his way in the Everton team and trying to receive the ball between the lines, because Everton don't play centrally. He likes to drop in centrally, so if he is central, he'll get the ball more. So yeah, that's the way I'd go. What about yourself?
Yeah, I'd definitely play Keane. I know Dom scored last week, but I just think, even again, just watching it with my eyes and then looking at the data behind it and his position, he's too deep, and it's not natural for him to go. And when you had a direct comparison with Callum Wilson, who was right between our two centre-backs, pushing it up, we need to stretch the pitch, and we're condensing it. And I think Moise Keane, once he gets one, will get a run going. And he's, we've bought him for 28 million quid. We need to be playing him and getting the best out of him, because he's a different striker to Dom. And then maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes in the end, if he's tired, then you bring Dom on and
rub the legs off them. Yeah, then that's what you should do. Yeah, try and change. That's another thing I'd like to see from Silva, is be proactive with the subs. If it is 1-1, 50 minutes in, I hope it's not. But if it is one, make the change. Don't wait for something to happen. Yeah, try and win the game. But Yeah, I think, you look at that, we'll get on to Sheffield United in a minute, but, I think another thing I spoke to people about yesterday, and I agree with, obviously, I spoke about it in pre-season with yourself, and there was slight worries about Mina and Keane together. I dropped them 5 yards. I know Silva, for possession's sake, likes to play a high line, but just drop them 5 yards, just to 5-10 yards, just to give them that little bit of cushion.
Bit of insurance, yeah.
That'd be what I'd do.
And they've got to cover for each other.
Yeah, exactly.
That,
you need to learn the
But that's a player, though, that isn't always the manager. The manager will be telling that, because that's what he's very good at, but that's... See, the third goal, I know people had a go at Mina, and probably rightly so, he should have probably dropped back, but for me, Michael Keane...
It's natural awareness.
Michael Keane's got to see that. Yeah. He's got to look and go, there's Callum Wilson.
And I can see
and he's the most dangerous player in the middle of the thing. Josh King's getting his feet wide, on the touchline. I don't have to be 2 yards.
Pass the man on, yeah.
Get in central position, or screen to Mina to drop 5 yards. Just little things you would see probably on a Sunday league pitch.
Yeah, you would do, yeah. That's
things that Everton they have to do. And they were doing that towards the end of last season. Let's move on to Sheffield United. They're, like I said before, they've come up. They've made a decent start, beat Crystal Palace at home, got a point at Bournemouth, done better than us, Bournemouth. Lost narrowly at home to Leicester, drew with Chelsea away, and then obviously lost at the weekend at home to Southampton. So no one's given them a pasting. It's been the odd goal. Played the three at the back, or like you said, 5 at the back. So we'll just have a look at their formation now. So there's Sheffield United. This is how they've lined up mostly for the games, obviously. They've swapped McBurney out for Robinson, haven't they? Them two have played. But everybody else in general has played.
Sometimes you'll have just two in midfield, and you have a number 10 here as well. It was Toffee last season, hasn't he? I think he's left, but they sometimes do that. What first of all, is quite a difference in the Premier League. That's all 11 in English and Irish, which is very Scottish as well. Sorry, that's rare really in the Premier League now. Definitely. I know they got Lys Mousset, who they got from Bournemouth on the bench, and they got Mo Bezic as well. But other than that, they're mostly an English and Irish team. And that's the way they set up. And that's what Chris Wilder, who he was at Northampton and then he went to Sheffield United, that's the way he's played for a long time, in Oxford, as well. That's the way he's played for a long time now. And it's worked for them. And they do play nice football. Freeman's a good player off the bench as well. I like Mousset. I know he doesn't score a lot of goals, but gets in some good positions to score goals well. And Robinson as well, I like. And of course, Billy Sharp. Everyone knows Billy Sharp. He's been with them forever. So they're a good side as well. And they play some nice football. The key areas are obviously the full-backs. Baldock does get high, so does Stevens. Hopefully we can take advantage, and obviously everyone has heard about the overlapping centre-backs. So basically that was where Chris Wilder found the teams in the Championship were sitting behind the ball, and basically they couldn't space teams out well enough. So now he sends either Basham or O'Connell, or Egan in some cases forward running with the ball, so then the marker drifts off one of his midfielders or his strikers and basically collapses the block, and that was a sort of new way of doing things, and he has done that, and it worked for him in the Championship. He hasn't done it as much this season because it is it's the Premier League, of course. You can be taking advantage, but they're an interesting side. Obviously, John Lundstrom as well, ex-Everton player, John Fleck, ex-Rangers and Coventry as well. So they've got some nice players. It's not the names, a lot of great big names, but some good players. McBurney obviously was really good for Swansea last season. Good all-round striker. McGoldrick,
been around forever, hasn't he?
Yeah, McGoldrick likes to drop into spaces. He can play as a 10 or he's a striker. He's a good footballer as well. So they've got a nice side, I think
he nearly signed for Everton, McGoldrick, about 11 years ago.
Really,
yeah. And I think he ended up going to Southampton instead.
He did, yeah.
But he was linked with us. But he's decent. His dribbling stats are very good, actually.
Yeah, he's good.
He has about 6 shots in this game last week, so they like to take shots. They obviously very, very attacking down the wing, which... there's the thing from the last game.
That's quite heavy, really.
Heavily down wide areas.
And I think, let's be honest, the end of Stevens is the best full-back they've got, and that again is down Coleman and Keane's side, which I think Chris Wilder would look what Eddie Howe tried to do, and other teams are probably on. So that is something that Silva needs to do. That's why I would think about playing a 3, maybe, and having basically your two of your midfielders drop in to cover the full-backs and leave the strikers up at the 3 high. That's an option you have, but that's what they're going to do. So we're going to have to be resolute, But I think in a way, though, sometimes crossing plays into me and Keane's hands. If I was a team, I would try and stretch them out like a City. City are probably going to try and do against us, but so hopefully they'll be able to deal with everything that comes into the box. But that's what they are going to try and do.
Yeah, they are very, very heavily weighted on crosses. So are we, though. Yeah. I mean, this is the passing stats from the last game against Southampton, just to show they have 459 passes, even with 10. Later on Billy Sharp was sent off, but look at the crosses, 33 crosses into the penalty area.
Yeah,
you know, face 20, so not great to stop and crosses either, which might play into our hands as well. But, you know, the long balls as well, he played a lot of that. But they are a passing side, you know, I was looking at the stats before, and they're averaging about 409 passes a game so far. Which,
for a promoted side, that's quite, I know we average over 500, but from a promoted side, they are trying to get hold of the ball instead of it long, sitting behind the ball. They're not that type of team.
Well, if you look at the likes of Palace, they're on like 310. And
they've got, exactly, so Palace know the style of play to try and survive in the Premier League, whereas Wilder's sticking to his principles. He wants to play football. He's a positive manager. I like that. I like what he's trying to do, and I think, you know, I think it's going to be a good battle for Marco Silva, you know, on Saturday.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, goal scoring wise, we've both scored 5 goals so far, which is a goal a game, which isn't fantastic. No. Like you say, they were unlucky at the weekend. You know, Southampton undone, and McBurney had a goal disallowed, which, you know,
it was a bit. Yeah.
Well, it was the same. It was disallowed for almost the same reason that Bournemouth's goal.
Yeah, should have been disallowed.
Should have been disallowed, the first goal, but it wasn't. But
Gineppo obviously won the game for them.
Oh, it was a great goal, wasn't it? And again, that was through the middle, though. You know,
yeah, he dribbled past 3 players and then slid it past the keeper.
So, you know, that's something that Everton maybe need to look at as well. Player I've picked out as their star man is Dean Henderson.
England's 21 goalkeeper on loan from Manchester United. Yeah, I think he's, you know, probably going to be, you know, Jordan Pickford's back up for England eventually. He is probably England's best keeper over, you know, under 21 age. There's not really much else in the under 18s and under 17s coming through in terms of goalkeeper. He's a very good goalkeeper. I think the long term would have been, I think he might end up staying probably out on loan now or leaving Man United, because I think there was maybe an option that if De Gea was going to leave, then he would become the number 1 goalkeeper, but De Gea's staying now. So
he's just signed a new deal.
Yeah, so I think Henderson probably, rather than stick on the bench, will probably leave. But yeah, he's a fantastic goalkeeper. Yeah, he's really good.
21 clean sheets this season in the Championship, which is no mean feat, because that is a tough league.
No, it is. Yeah, he was on loan at Shrewsbury the season before, and he was very good there. And he's went to Sheffield United the last 2 seasons. He's been very good. So yeah, I think he's a really top goalie. We're gonna have to test. You know, he's gonna be a test for us to get past him. But
made a great save last week from Shea Adams.
He did. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Well. Yeah. And then another player that you've picked out, other than him, is Oliver Norwood.
Yeah, Norwood. He's the creative fulcrum, really, whether it's set pieces or, you know, passing long, you know, he's passing in the area. So we'll have to sort of close him down constantly, because he is their biggest threat. Fleck's a pretty good player as well, but Oliver Norwood, you know, I work with Blades Analytics, Jay Sotrich, you know, he's obviously a Sheffield United fan. I asked who your 2 main, you know, players are. He said Ender Stevens, the left back, who provides a lot of the good crosses, and of course Oliver Norwood, who's the main creative hub. And yeah, look, you can see, he's always trying to pick people out in the channels, the long balls, and, you know, obviously these probably balls in from the wide areas, but he's a very good player. Look, great range of passing. You know, he was fantastic last season in the Championship, the real difference maker for them.
I mean, if you look at his dashboard there, he is very busy.
Yeah.
Passing, he's all over the pitch. You know, he's someone who maybe Everton will have to, if Sigurdsson does play in that role, maybe he'll have to drop in and sit on him a little bit, or try to stop him doing, you know, playing his normal game. And Everton will have to look out for him. But it's, again, from our perspective,
quality level,
from our perspective, you know, we've got to be looking at this game as for a win. It's a promoted team at Goodison. A win at the weekend into double figures, you know, 10 points from the opening 18. It's not great, but it's not terrible.
No, and the way the league's gone as well, we're still in the pack then. You're still with the pack, because no one's really gone ahead of us. I know a couple of teams are on 8 points, but we're still there. So you still, you know, I know obviously the tougher periods come up, and we'll look back maybe and say we should have got more points in this period. But if we can just keep up with them and get some form going. I know we did say a couple of weeks ago that it would take till roughly October by the time we started clicking. It's just the fact the system's still not working is what the worry is. But yeah, I think hopefully we'll see a different performance this weekend. Bit of impetus, play on the front foot, see Everton, you know, obviously go and try and win the game. And I think, as I say, we'll probably get some joy in behind their fullbacks, and I think that'll be the decider for us, really.
Yeah, I mean, confidence-wise, win at the weekend, get into that, you know, we'll move up the table inevitably, and then it is Sheffield away then in the cup, and then a chance against Manchester City at the weekend, which will obviously be very difficult, but they've got
Well,
a
you
couple
never
of
know. There's a way to
injuries
play
as
it. You know, if play on the front foot against them seems to work. You know, obviously Norwich beat them last week, and Leon showed people the way last season. You know, and obviously Liverpool, you know, have done well against City in the past. So yeah, I wouldn't go and try and sit in because you know that's what. So we just play the Everton way, and we'll see. We get a good game, even though we got beat last season. I know obviously it was a couple of errors that cost us in terms of crosses into the box, but yeah.
And we've got more quality this season, so
exactly.
But we've got to show it, and it's easy us sitting here going, we've got a good squad, we've got these players, and we've got that. We are generally good at Goodison Park. It's trying to mirror that away, and that's for me, that's the manager's biggest test. But this weekend, Will, if he just does the same, and we keep continuing to do the same thing, we're not going to grow the way we should do. So I hope that he makes a couple of changes and tinkers with how we play.
I think the fans will get behind it as well. I think, as I've said, you know, the manager, if he shows his willingness to try things, I think the fans go, all right, he's trying something.
Yeah,
we'll get behind it. You know, instead of, if you play that system, it just starts to, you know, when you play certain players, unfortunately, I know there's, you know, Dominic Calvert-Lewin's not everyone's favourite player person at the moment, but it sort of creates an atmosphere straight away of, oh, we're going to lose, we're not going to score. And I think you need to sort of show the fans that you can change, you can be flexible. And, you know, I do expect the 4-2-3-1 at the weekend, I'll be honest, but I hope Keane's back in the side to stretch them centre-backs, yeah.
There you go. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. How do you see this game going? What does the manager have to do to convince you that he's flexible enough to start changing it up? What do Everton need to do? We are good at Goodison. Keeps, you know, how do we start turning our away form round? And any Sheffield United fans, are you confident coming to Goodison looking for that away win? Let us know in the comments. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Make sure you get over to Patreon if you want more videos. Before we go, big thanks to Rainbow Toffees for the scarf. Boss scarf.
It's a very nice scarf.
Colours there in the Everton badge. If you want one, go to Rainbow Toffees and order one. Get yourself a brilliant new scarf. There you go. Thanks for watching. See you later.